lose a thriller. They failed to get the sweep over the Toronto Blue Jays. The Dodgers have a real problem brewing with their bullpen. Tyler Glasnow gives them a solid outing. We're going to talk about the Shohei Ohtani at-bats, the Mookie Betts at-bats, and Michael Conforto getting an opportunity in a big spot, and like he has most of the season, was unable to come through. That's coming up next on the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade. We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel. And even though the Dodgers did not win, if you want to support the show every single day, you want to see more content, more giveaways, hit the like button and drop a comment down below. But thanks for rocking with us after one of the more frustrating losses. You know what? I'll just say the most frustrating loss all season long, and it's not even close. The Dodgers lose to the Blue Jays by a final score of 5-4. They dropped to 68-50 on the season, and now the Dodgers, who had a great opportunity to finish off a sweep against the top team in the American League, they lose today, and they continue their fight for the division. The Dodgers now 2 games up on the San Diego Padres. The Padres, the Dodgers, they are going to clash very soon next week. But the Padres, they were able to beat the Red Sox today by a final score of 6-2. So they pick up a game, and you're neck and neck with San Diego with 6 games coming up in the next couple of weeks. So this division is going to really be decided ultimately in the next 14 days, but we've got to talk about what went wrong today, because there were a lot of things that the Dodgers just could not execute on that would have led to a really feel-good series sweep, where you could say for the first time in a long time that the Dodgers were winning games in complete fashion. First 2 games, starting pitching, bullpen, offense, runners in scoring position, execution, they were doing everything you wanted to see. And then today, it felt like it was going to be more of the same. You had another ace-level pitcher on the mound for the Dodgers in Tyler Glasnow. He goes out there, didn't look great there in the first inning, comes out of this one, and you're hoping, okay, let's just see more from Tyler Glasnow, see what he's got. And in this one, Glasnow, he pitched well enough to give this team a chance to win. And then the offense with Shohei Ohtani early on, they were able to put him back on top. But Tyler Glasnow ends up giving up 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings, had 8 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings of work and 86 pitches. So you would have liked more length out of Tyler Glasnow, but still, this team was in a position to win this game early. Shohei Ohtani, he comes up to the plate after Glasnow have given up a run in the top half of the first inning, and Shohei Ohtani, he leaves the yard for his 41st home run of the season.
Kicks and fires 1-2. Ohtani yanks one in the air, deep right field. It's got a chance. It's tied. It takes one batter.
So that's what you wanted to see, the Dodgers answering with offense, but this one really came down to the later innings, with Mason Flaherty getting his first career save after coming in for the Jays closer, Jeff Hoffman, there in the 9th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out. He strikes out Shohei Ohtani on a full count, 9-pitch at bat, and Shohei, he swings and misses, chasing a sweeper down and off the plate. And I think in that at bat right there, we're going to start there. We're going to work our way back, because this Dodgers offense, they stranded a small village today on the base pass. There was more traffic on the base pass today than the 405 freeway during rush hour on a Tuesday. The Dodgers offense, they got more than 10 walks, and they got 10 hits, and they did not win this game. It was the first time in almost 40 years that the Dodgers were able to get more than 10 walks and get 10 hits, and they lose a baseball game. This offense did not get the timely base hits. You did not get that big hit when you needed to. So many opportunities. You went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. You left 16 men on base in this one. Opportunity after opportunity. And in the bottom of the ninth inning, even after your bullpen gave up 3 home runs, 2 by Blake Treinen and 1 by Alex Vesia. Vesia got ambushed. Blake Treinen left some sliders up in the zone. We'll talk about that. We're going to hear from them moments from now from the Dodgers clubhouse. But still, this is a team that has had 8 walk-off wins this season, and they had an opportunity for a 9th because you had their closer on the ropes. Andy Pages, he draws a leadoff walk. Max Muncy, who's been fantastic since returning from the IL, 12 for his last 18 at-bats with 3 home runs, he draws a walk. And then Alex Freeland lays down a great bunt to third, and the Dodgers set themselves up with runners on second and third, and you've got just 1 out, and then Alex Call goes up there, and he walks on 4 pitches. So Jeff Hoffman, he load the bases, 1 out, and then they have to pitch to Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani already been intentionally walked in this game multiple times, gets an opportunity with the bases loaded, and it was not one of Shohei Ohtani's best showings at the plate. He falls behind the count early. He did foul off 3 pitches during the at-bat, but he expands the zone, and I think you look at the strikeout there. He strikes out on the 9th pitch for the second out with the bases loaded. It's a 5-4 game in that moment, and you have the tying run at third base, and you look at some of those swings, even on the foul balls for Shohei, and those are big swings in those spots. And I think for Shohei, you look at his numbers on the season, he's in .239 with runners in scoring position this year. That is not great at all. That's not good. That's below average for someone like him. The OPS is over 800, but I think for a leadoff hitter, for a guy in that situation, you can take a little off just to try to put the ball in play, to try to tie that game. And look, of course, that's what he does, right? He's up there to do damage, but I think in certain spots, you want to kind of feel it out, and that just was a long at-bat, so you got to give him credit for that against Flaherty, but that was the kryptonite for Shohei. That is Superman's kryptonite right there. It is a breaking ball down and away off the plate. He swings at it. He misses for the second out. And then that set it up for Mookie Betts. And I think it was another positive day for Mookie Betts. There's no doubt about that. It was a positive week for Mookie. He's starting to look like Mookie and hit the ball hard and get multiple hits. The defense was really good this week, and he goes 2 for 5 in this one with a couple of base hits. It would have been a storybook ending to a great week that started with the ovation by the Dodgers fans at Dodgers Stadium, where after Mookie said that, hey, it's always great to know that Dodgers fans have his back in those situations. He also said that he'd rather not get that ovation because of what it meant. It meant that he's been struggling all season. So had he come through in this spot, I think that you would really have the conversation, wow, Mookie Betts is back. Mookie's living his Betts life once again. And not the worst at bat, but, I mean, he just didn't get the job done. The 1-1 pitch, he grounds into a fielder's choice to third, that ended the game. So the Dodgers, trailing 5-4, they weren't able to come through in that spot, but that was not their only opportunity. They had multiple chances in this one. And on the offensive side, and we're going to get to the relievers, we're going to get to Alex Vesia and Blake Treinen. I'm going to tell you about a serious problem that this bullpen has been dealing with all season long that reared its ugly head today that the Dodgers need to address before the postseason starts if they want to make another deep run and win the World Series again. But we got to talk about the bottom of the 8th. Because it's a 4-3 game, the Dodgers down, and you had another massive opportunity to score multiple runs, put yourselves in a position to get another comeback win. You lead Major League Baseball in comeback wins. You had a chance for another one. And Alex Freeland, he draws a walk off Rodriguez. And then Alex Call, sacrifice bunt. Very well laid down bunt. I like big bunts, and I cannot lie. And I saw a couple of them in this game. One from Alex Call, one from Alex Freeland. That put the tying run in scoring position. And, of course, you're going to intentionally walk Shohei Ohtani with first base open. Mookie Betts, another great opportunity for him to come through with another clutch base hit, a timely hit in a big moment. He strikes out swinging. Tough at bat for Betts. He takes a slider off the plate that was borderline for the first strike, and then the next one was on the inner half of the plate. So you got to give Rodriguez credit for working both sides of the plate, and then he swings and misses at a slider for the second out. But then Toronto goes to their closer for the first time all weekend. Hoffman comes in. He immediately walks Will Smith to load the bases, and then it's Freddie Freeman. And I want to say this about Freddie Freeman because, I mean, in that spot, look, everyone in the world, right? If the aliens came down and like, okay, we got this laser beam and we're going to press this button and the planet's going to be blown into a million smithereens unless we can get a base hit, who you picking? I'm picking Freddie Freeman. And in that spot, it's probably going to end up well and the planet's going to be saved. He has that ability. And during that at-bat, it was a really awesome at-bat for Freddie Freeman. Falls behind the count 1-2. Then ultimately draws a 7-pitch walk to tie things at 4. But in that spot, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, man, we know Freddie Freeman is just going to do what the pitcher lets him do, right? If there's a pitch in the zone that he knows he can hit, that knows he can do damage to, he's going to put a good swing on it and something good's going to happen. But if he's laying on pitches off the plate, he's going to take that walk. I was thinking to myself, well, you look at the way that the lineup is right now, and you already had Justin Dean in this game, and Justin Dean, he comes in for Teoscar Hernandez as a pinch runner, and then he goes into play center field. Well, that put them in a spot where behind Freddie was Justin Dean, and we know that Justin Dean probably was not going to get that at bat, especially because of the pitching matchup in that spot with Hoffman, as it's a right-handed pitcher. You know the Dodgers are going to play the matchup, so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, Freddie, a walk isn't good enough right now because Justin Dean's behind you. You got a righty on the mound. Conforto's off the bench. And let me tell you this, love someone, trust someone. It'd be great to have someone love you and trust you as much as Dave Roberts and this organization trust Michael Conforto. Because I was saying right there, oh no, if Freddie does not get a base hit and scores multiple runs and he just draws the walk, you're probably going to have Conforto pinch hitting for Justin Dean. And we know that that's probably not going to end well. So I was screaming, Freddie, just swing the bat, man. Like, we need more than just a walk because of the position they were in, because you already had gotten Teo out of the game and Justin Dean's in the game, and then you're probably going to Conforto. And then, of course, what happens next? Conforto comes to the plate, and he gets ahead in the count 3-0. And you're like, okay, cool. I'll take a 4-pitch walk from Michael Conforto. Then he looks at strike one, and on the 5th pitch of the at-bat, it was a 95-mile-per-hour cookie right in the heart of the plate. A cookie right in the heart of the plate, and somehow, some way, like, it was one of the strangest, one of the most improbable looking foul outs I've seen in a long time. Like, he skies it. It was 96, middle 96. And look, it'd be one thing, okay, rocket out to first, rocket out to a glove. Oh, cool. Hard hit ball, just didn't get the result. But I mean, we are talking 96 right down Broadway on a tee, and somehow, some way, he fouled it way up, just a non-competitive at-bat, and that ended the inning. Here, I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see this. Podcast listeners, I'm showing a picture of this Michael Conforto pitch that he popped up. Look at that right there. That's on a tee, 96, and he's skying it. I mean, swinging underneath. What kind of swing is that in that situation? And then on top of that, what do the Dodgers pride themselves on doing? It's let's let the data have a positive influence on the decisions we make as far as the matchups. And in that situation, sure, is a left-handed bat of Michael Conforto a better option than a switch-hitting Justin Dean against a Jeff Hoffman? Yes, they're going to give Conforto the opportunity there just because of the seniority of it all, and Dean's a rookie. He's only playing his second game at the big league level. But still, Michael Conforto is 0 for 8 as a pinch hitter as a Dodger. And then on top of that, in the month of August, he's 3 for 24, hitting a .125. He's hitting 125 in August. And then with runners in scoring position, he's been one of the least productive hitters in the sport, hitting a .160, 160, not hitting his weight. Not hitting his weight when he's holding a couple of cinder blocks with runners in scoring position, hitting 160. And then on top of that, I mean, with 2 outs, deep run it, hitting 143 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. And then hitting a .130 in high leverage situations. So you bring a guy off the bench who has been one of the least productive hitters in those situations, and he even gets an opportunity to get a really good pitch to hit, and he just can't execute in that situation. So, yes, we're going to talk about the bullpen here in a second. We're going to talk about Blake Treinen. We're going to talk about Alex Vesia. But still, the truth of the matter is the reason why this Dodgers team lost today was because you went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. You got 13 walks, and you couldn't cash in on most of them. If we're going to slice up that blame pie, the offense, they're getting 68% of it, right? I mean, they're getting the vast majority of it, right? I mean, you want to win a tight game in the bullpen, they have to go out in there and execute pitches for sure. But, man, just watching that team, a small village was stranded today on the base pass. You just need to be able to get those timely hits. And it was, look, I mean, great to see Shohei hit home runs and great to see Mookie have those 2 hits. But, yeah, these hits are definitely magnified, and these opportunities are definitely magnified when you're not coming through in the spots that matter most. But now let's talk about the bullpen side. Let's talk about the bullpen side. We're going to hear from Blake Treinen. We're going to hear from Alex Vesia in a minute. And this one, look, this is a really good Blue Jays team, right? It's a 69-win team. They have more wins than the Dodgers this season. And it started in the bottom of the top of the 8th inning. So the Dodgers, they had built a 3-1 lead in this one. Yeah, you had a 3-1 lead in this game. Of course, we talked about the bottom of the first inning, Shohei Ohtani, he homered to make it a 1-1 game. Then Freddie Freeman, he hit a home run to make it a 2-1 game in that same inning, bottom of the first. And then bottom of the second inning, Miguel Rojas, he doubled to left. Couple batters later, intentionally walked Shohei Ohtani. Then Mookie Betts, he singled. And then a couple batters later, Freddie Freeman, he walked another run in earlier in this one. So twice in this game, Freddie Freeman drew walks with the bases loaded to score a run. That put the Dodgers up 3-1. And then France, he singled to right off Glasnow to make it a 3-2 game there in the 6th. So that sets the stage for the top of the 8th inning, where Blake Treinen, he's out there to face the top part of the Blue Jays order, the 2, 3, 4 hitters, the meat of that order, the high leverage situations. Remember, we can talk about close all you want, but a lot of the times the meat of that order, the high leverage situation, comes in the 8th and not the 9th, and that was certainly the case in this afternoon's ball game. Because Blake looked good against Bo Bichette. He looked nasty. I mean, he struck him out, four-seam fastball on the outer half, and then Vladimir Guerrero gets ahead in the count 0-2, and then he just left a sweeper, middle, cement mixer in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He tattooed it. Vladdy crushed it 422 feet. That tied things at 3, and then next batter, Barger, 0-1 count, another sweeper, left it out over the plate. He crushed it 410 feet to give the Blue Jays a 4-3 lead, and just like that, the Blue Jays, late in this one, they take the lead. And look, we know that Blake Treinen, since coming back, he's had some ups and downs. And the stuff really has played well when it's right, but it's the occasional misses and the margin for error on those misses. I mean, before this, in August, inning and 2/3, hadn't given up a run. And then when he first came back in July, in that inning, he had gone one inning in the 2 games against Cincy, got squeezed a couple times, had given up a couple runs in that one. But I think what you're seeing in this situation is the pitch sequencing there, the sweeper. I mean, you just have to, in a game where the home runs are going to hurt you, you got to miss down. You got to keep it down. You do not want to miss up because that's the only way they're going to try to beat you, right? They're going to try to slug their way back into this game, and I would have much rather seen Vladimir Guerrero Jr. either draw a walk, right, and then you don't have to face their best hitters, and you can try to get the guys out behind him in a tough situation versus give him an opportunity to put that big swing out there and tie this up with one swing, and that's exactly what he did. So I just don't like okay, we're going to attack you with a sweeper up in the zone. You got to keep it down unless he misses pitch, right? So he's not trying to, but I think that's where you want to see him execute that sinker with a little more command down and try to induce some soft contact because that's definitely been the scary thing for Blake Treinen and the rest of this Dodgers bullpen because not only has his bullpen been overly taxed, and yes, a lot of those guys that have pitched those innings for this pen won't be a part of this team in October. A lot of them are not even on this team anymore, right? But still, the Dodgers, they've allowed the third most home runs in Major League Baseball out of their pen. Yes, a lot of those guys aren't here, won't be here, but it is concerning when you don't have guys that have that nasty, high-velocity stuff that plays up in October. So we'll see if that is going to be a storyline to follow. And we know Alex Vesia is another guy that has put this bullpen on his back this season. Well, Vesia, he comes in there after the Dodgers were able to tie it there in the bottom half of the 8th with the Freddie Freeman walk with the bases loaded. Well, Clement, he steps to the plate, and he just ambushed a slider. This slider was not as bad of a pitch as the two sweepers that Blake Treinen served up that got homered off of, but still, Clement ambushing it. He was sitting back. He was looking for it, and Clement, he crushes a bomb to left, and that put the Blue Jays up 5-4. So 3 runs given up by this Dodgers pen late, all 3 of them via solo home runs. And now let's hear from Blake Treinen, Alex Vesia, who just spoke to reporters moments ago in the Dodgers clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I threw a slider, and it was down in the zone, and he went and kind of got it. So other than that, I felt good and whatnot, and just one bad pitch.
Do you feel like overall you executed that pitch the way you wanted it to, or was it, did you want that a little bit lower?
I mean, it's 50-50, man. It really is, honestly. It's like, so, yeah, I'm not putting too much weight onto it and just kind of flush it onto the next one.
How frustrating is it for, the offense to get all the way back in front, but to not be able to hold it once they were able to tie?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty frustrating. I mean, it's, we take a lot of pride in the bullpen, and for us to not get it done today, it sucks.
As a team, has it felt like it's been difficult to gain much traction? You sort of go on a run that you guys have been kind of talking about, you guys feel like you're close to?
What are you talking about? Like, what specifically are you talking about? Like the team?
Yeah, a team that's sort of like winning.
I mean,
wins.
I thought we did great today. Honestly, like the offense was really good. It's bullpen that we need to get our stuff figured out.
So is Alex Vesia noticeably frustrated there, and understandably so, because that's the kind of competitor that he is. And if it's a big game and a big moment, I still trust Alex Vesia because he's going to go out there and he's going to compete, and it happens occasionally. I do think that he needs some guys to pick him up, though, because he's been the guy that's been out there all season long posting. He's been just durable and giving them exactly what they needed. And unfortunately, in that spot, he wasn't able to come through, but I still believe in Alex Vesia. But let's hear from Blake Treinen. I think the bigger concern for me is Blake Treinen because we haven't seen him do it consistently for long stretches this season, and he gave up 2 home runs in back-to-back fashion, and that's what really put the Toronto Blue Jays back into this one. But here's Blake Treinen just moments ago from the Dodgers clubhouse talking about today's loss.
Just the sweepers pitch for you in the past that's been excellent. Tonight they were able to get to that specific one just kind of with those home runs. Is that something that, when you look at those at-bats, was it just kind of location or them just kind of putting some good swings on it?
I mean, I don't think you look into home runs. It's good swings, and you give good hitters pitches right down the middle, they're going to do damage. And sometimes we get away with making bad locations turn into outs, and they made me pay for it, and it cost us a game, so it's a little bit frustrating.
What do you think you've been kind of searching for as you've been coming off the IL execution-wise? What do you think you've been searching for execution-wise when it comes to since you've been off the IL?
honestly think my execution has been really good. I've had some tough hits through the hole, which, I mean, tip your hat to the hitter. Today was lack of execution. Today's the first day I feel like my execution's been really poor. What's really been frustrating for me outside of the last 2 outings is the first batter. Walks haven't been good for me. Today was better. Last outing against Toronto was really good too. As long as I'm in the zone, I'm fine. I just got to be better with 2 strikes, and leaving pitches right down the middle isn't good.
How do you feel about where your stuff has been in these 5 games back?
I thought my stuff today was great. It's a location thing. I mean, literally as center cut as you can throw them is where they hit them. So can't be successful in the big leagues throwing it down the middle.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because he says he felt good about his stuff, but then he also said the location was center cut as you could get. So I think what he's pretty much referring to is just the feel for it, the movement of it, the shape of it. I do think that you kind of have to live through this, and it's not fun. But with the way that Brock Stewart has performed, and that has not been good, and the other options you have down there, I do think you almost have to live through this with Blake Treinen as he gets himself back into this season, as he starts to find the feel for his stuff. And I think it's about pitch execution for him. And I think it's also about sequencing too. I definitely want to see him not just fall in love with that sweeper, especially as a put away pitch in a close game in that situation when you don't have the best feel for it right now. I mean, if that thing is breaking down and in and it's looking filthy and there's not a lot of margin for error and there's that nice bite to it that we've seen throughout his career here, then fine, all power to you and go for that. But when the margins for error is a little thinner like it is right now with that pitch, I think you have to kind of read the situation, understand you're not fully back to where you've been throughout your career here, and just understand that, hey, it's a 1-run game. Let's live to see another batter and not put ourselves in a position where if I do miss a pitch and I do give up a cookie, that they can crush it. I like that he brought the fact that, yeah, I mean, there are times. I mean, go watch a baseball game and see how many times you see a missed pitch that ends up a foul ball, that ends up a fly ball, where the hitter misses it, right? We can talk about in this game, Michael Conforto is a perfect example, right? He missed a cookie that he didn't capitalize on. Unfortunately, and to the Blue Jays' credit, they were able to. So we'll get to your comments here in a second, but now let's hear from Dave Roberts after today's 5-4 loss to the Blue Jays. Talks about Tyler Glasnow's start, about this offense, about this series. And then we're going to hear from Tyler Glasnow. And then, most importantly, we're going to take your comments. I see them. I'm reading them. I know you're heated. Understandably so. A very frustrating loss. I think the most frustrating loss of the season for the Dodgers. But here was Doc just moments ago.
I mean, I thought there was a lot of good, some things that were not so good. But yeah, we gave ourselves opportunities. I thought, taking walks and creating stress, building innings, but we just couldn't get that hit, different opportunities that we had to kind of put this game out of reach.
Like you said, just with those 2 home runs today, it felt like it was location. What have you been seeing from him since he's come off the IL?
I think it's just the command. I think, you get Vladdy 0-2 and then you hang a sweeper and obviously a lot of power, and then you try to go, I think, with a backdoor breaking ball to Barger, and it was middle. And so that's just kind of the command. And the stuff can be good, but you still got to make good pitches. And certainly when you get count leverage, you got to be able to, try to get soft contact or swing and miss. And, right now I think that, in times he's getting behind, but yeah, I think the stuff is good, but I think it's just more so just kind of tightening up the command.
Is that one of those things that's just a byproduct of much time?
I think so. Obviously he's in a good place as far as physically, health-wise, but then, I think he's had probably 4 or 5 outings, so just kind of getting that dialed in, getting to rhythm and getting kind of the ball where it needs to be.
So talks about Blake Treinen right there, talks about just the execution. And I just want to lay this out here. I want to lay this out there because the big trade deadline talk was about the ifs. If the internal pieces would start to perform to what they've been capable of, what they've shown for this team. And Blake Treinen, when he's right, we know he is a high-leverage guy. He's one of the top 10 to 20 relievers in Major League Baseball. And then in the postseason, he's a guy who's capable of really being a top 5 guy, right? His ceiling is extremely high with just the poise he has out there on the mound, the stuff that he has out there on the mound. But one of the big ifs was if Blake Treinen can come back and be that high-leverage guy, well, then you don't need to be as aggressive at the trade deadline. Well, so far, and it is a work in progress, and I still think that there's a chance and a pretty good chance that he's going to realize his role that they expected that he would have on this team and being one of those top guys come October. But so far, he's faced 23 batters. And of those 23 batters, 12 have reached base. He's given up 8 hits in that span and 4 walks in his last 3 games. So, I mean, you just kind of look at those numbers right there. He's giving up hits. He's giving up walks. He's not retiring a ton of batters. I think the good thing about today was that maybe this is just an anomaly, an aberration as far as the home runs go, because those home runs that he gave up today were the first ones that he has given up since coming back. And then I think Alex Vesia is another guy that the question for him is he's tied for the most appearances on the Dodgers this year. He's been their best reliever at .261 ERA, a 34.9% strikeout rate, but he has given up 8 home runs. That is a career high for him. So are the home runs an issue for this Dodgers pen? That's going to be a question moving forward. And then the other big if was if Brock Stewart could be the guy that he was on the Twins for the Dodgers in a pennant race type of team. So far, he hasn't. So a lot of the questions that we've had about the bullpen, they haven't answered and passed with flying colors yet. A lot can change, but I do think a bright spot in this one. Let's talk a little bit about Tyler Glasnow's outing, because I think all in all, it was another step in the right direction. It was a strong start against a really good, talented Toronto Blue Jays lineup that was trying to avoid a sweep, that has their own division race stuff that they're dealing with. And he didn't look as sharp early, gave an RBI double to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. there in the first inning. And then the second inning, they loaded the bases off of him with 1 out. He gets out of that jam with that double play that Mookie Betts was able to execute. And then he started to get into a groove. He retired 10 of the next 11 batters, gets into the 5th inning, then allows a couple of singles. Toronto was able to get another run. But when he was taken out of that game, 8 strikeouts, and he gave the Dodgers a really good chance to win that game if the offense had come through. And the number I'm looking at when it comes to Tyler Glasnow right now is how does he look since coming back from that injury? And he's looked really good. 6 starts, a .227 ERA, a 29.9% strikeout rate, 35 innings. So he's looked good. He stayed healthy. He's bounced back well. I think it's all about health. Health is wealth for Tyler Glasnow. And with this offense, they should have won this game for him. But here's Tyler Glasnow, a short and sweet media availability session, scrum session from the Dodgers clubhouse after this one.
I was talking about how right now, obviously, you've done a lot of work with your mechanics, but it just seems like a different focus level. There's blinders on. Are you feeling that, especially in the second half, or this back half of the season?
I think when the first part's taken care of, it's a lot easier to kind of focus on that type of stuff. I think it's not in the back of my mind, like something feeling weird or feeling off. I'm just able to go out and compete a bit more, and I think just like my mental headspace is in like a better place competition-wise, just like focusing on how to get the hitter out.
When did you know that you'd be moving up a day?
A couple days ago. I don't even remember. A few days ago? A couple days ago, I think. He told me, and then I just, prepared for today. Cool. Thank you.
Short and sweet, and I like that because he's a competitor. He does not like to lose, and even though he had a good game, really, I mean, he's not happy because the team didn't win, and I like to see that from Tyler Glasnow. Key stat today, Shohei Ohtani has only been a leadoff hitter for a couple of seasons now almost, and he has 23 career leadoff home runs, including an MLB leading 11 this season, 41 on the year. He's on pace to hit over 54 and surpass the total he had last year. Remember my preseason prediction, he would hit 60. We'll see if he gets to that mark. But let's get to you guys in this one. Take some comments. I know it's frustrating. You didn't like this loss, and let's see what they say. We got Kathy. Shohei hit home run. He was also on base 3 times, but no one could bring him home. No wonder he wanted to do something himself. good point. I mean, honestly, I like that point. I like that. I mean, he probably thinks to himself, hey, if I don't do it myself, no one's going to do it for me. But still, I mean, you got Freddie Freeman. You got guys in those situations that can help you out. But I think it's all about kind of swing decisions and approach in those moments. And he has been hitting 239 all year with runners in scoring position. And he'll be the first to tell you that he can be more productive in those situations. The top 5 hair, I totally agree, for Tyler Glasnow. David, Glasnow walks too many batters. Can't make it into the 5th, just like Snell. Yeah, 4 walks for Glasnow today. That definitely was the negative on his start. And wasn't his sharpest, wasn't his best for sure. But still, like I said, he gave this team a chance to win a baseball game. And there's no doubt about that. And the offense, and the bullpen, you combined to kind of let that one down. Let's not forget, too, I mean, Glasnow is still trying to work his way back from an injury, too, and new mechanics that he's put into place to avoid injury. So he's a work in progress, but he's still getting results. Craig Osterberg says, need Joe Kelly. Do you guys agree with Craig? Joe Kelly on the Dodgers. Ohtani needs to take the walk and stop playing hero ball from NKV Ball 808. We've got, imagine if we had Devin Williams, LOL, Nikki. Yeah, I can't believe the Yankees, they changed the beard policy for a washed has-been reliever. But Drew Durr, they passed the baton today. Love to see that, but couldn't deliver the blow. Drew Durr. Exactly. A lot of jabs. They just couldn't deliver that knockout blow. We've seen this team do that so many times. That's why this loss is definitely a frustrating one. BL boy, D-Mac, all this criticism, and you basically gave his replacement a B-, and he's terrible too. I mean, at the time, it looked like that was fair. I bet that was we'll see what they get on the final, as far as the trade deadline acquisitions. But it's a frustrating loss today, but I still believe in the talent of this group. So we'll see. D-Mac get some dinner. Okay, Jason, 1999 Super Chat. Appreciate that. Apparently, nobody can hit against the Jays' pen when they thrashed them last night. Also, this is why they should have kept May. Yes, he's given up 16 homers, but this bullpen is crap, and front office looks stupid for giving up on May. I don't know. I don't think May has kind of that bullpen stuff as far as the home runs and kind of the strikeout rate stuff. And I think, too, May did make it pretty clear to the organization, it sounds like, that he wanted a chance to start. And this organization, like they did a couple years ago, Ross Stripling, a couple guys, hey, they'll give you a chance to play somewhere else if they don't have a clear-cut role here. So I think that if you want to blame the Dodgers, you probably have to play some blame on May, too. I mean, it seems like based on what he said, what the organization has mentioned, too. He's the one who said himself, quote, I got pushed out. And I think what he meant by that was he was pushed out by the talent that the Dodgers team had. So I'm not going to lose sleep over May. I'm really not. Angel Escobar, this is why the Dodgers needed. And by the way, I'm the one who said they should have kept him, but I said they should have kept him and not even put him in the bullpen. Just keep him and keep him in the fold in some capacity as an insurance policy. But look at the guy they got. Henry Tibbs, already a couple home runs. Angel, this is why the Dodgers need to do more at the deadline. Parades over prospects. This was not a B deadline. I said C+, B- so far. It looks more like just a straight C. I do like Alex Call, though. I want to say that. By the way, Angel says, it's time for you to sell that Conforto stock D-Mac. He's not good. Simple as that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to talk to my financial advisor today, my stockbroker today, and we might sell some shares of that Michael Conforto stock. More on that tomorrow because I'm going to talk about it tomorrow for sure. But, all right, guys, a couple more here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. 5-4 loss for LA. Not what you would expect when a team is able to draw 13 walks and get 10 hits and score just 4 runs, and get a couple home runs too. Just a frustrating loss for the Dodgers, and now they're just 2 games up on the San Diego Padres in the National League West. So let's get some final takes from you guys. Tomorrow we'll do a long session for sure. Are we the National League champs? The Brewers are taking off, man. It's going to be tough to catch them, but yeah, it's going to be competitive. Why are we talking about May? He'd be here if he was worthy from Bilal K. Totally agree. Alex Call is bad. Friedman no, I think Alex Call's good, especially in the role that he plays. Couple of more chats from you guys. Blake is a top 20 stop at D-Mac Rome. I said when he's right, I think there's no denying that. I don't think that's even a hot take at all. You think so? Luis Robert Jr. update. D-Mac, we don't have time to wait for Blake to get it together. Big trouble now. Hey, our guy Bobby Miller, if you didn't go watch my interview with Bobby Miller, hey, another scoreless inning. I'm going to try to build the Bobby Miller hype train. Claudia 11 in the chat. On a positive note, bringing in Alex Freeland up was a good move. Yeah, he can lay down bunts. He's versatile. I like to see that. And there were some positives in this week for sure. And you did still beat a Blue Jays team in a series, which is positive. We got Jose Aguirre. D-Mac blocked the guy that said he's going to be a Padres fan now. I didn't even see that, but I'll give you a bruh. But all right, guys, we're going to do a longer 7th inning stretch tomorrow. We're going to start featuring the comments on the screen again. So a lot of really fun stuff in the works from you guys. So I love that. Shout out to my man, Tony Taters. Just got a new girlfriend. So everyone say congratulations to Tony Taters for that, for producing this show remotely. So I want to give him some love as well. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit that like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. A final thought on this one. This was the most frustrating loss of the season. 1 for 10 runners in scoring position, 13 walks, 10 hits. You scored just 4 runs, 3 home runs given up by the bullpen late. Too many situations you just can't execute and get the big hit. You take 2 of 3 from a good American League team in the Blue Jays, but this should have been a sweep. And the final thought is that the Padres and the Dodgers are going to be starting their gauntlet next week. And I think the National League West is going to be determined in the next 10 plus days when those two teams face off, because they're close enough where you win those series, you take convincing leads. We'll see what happens. So that's going to do it, guys. Remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers if you want to support the channel. Angels tomorrow, Yamamoto on the mound. Lots to talk about tomorrow on Dodgers Dugout Live. I'm going to be going to Adrian Gonzalez's new pizza spot, so that'll be exciting. See you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And remember that nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. Until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.